Hello, my stamping friends. It's Christine Ludwig from Christine's Stamping Spot. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in St. Albert, Alberta, Canada. And thank you for joining me today. Happy New Year to all of you. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and New Year celebrating with your family and friends. I know we had a lot of snow over the holidays where we are, and had some pretty cold temperatures at night. I know with the wind chill, it was into the minus 30 Celsius. So pretty cold, but it is supposed to warm up a little bit this week, so that will be wonderful. And I can't believe it's January. Oh my gosh, those holidays just flew by, didn't they? So drop me a little comment. Let me know, what is it like where you are living? Is it cold? Do you have snow? Did you have a white Christmas? Are you enjoying some really nice warm weather? I'd love to hear where you're tuning in from. So drop me a line. And with January, we have our new mini catalog starting tomorrow. So I'm a day early and can't technically show you what's inside. So I won't. I'll go by the rules, but we are going to create a project using some products or a suite from here. And so you will get a little sneak peek of something that we have going on in this new catalog. So this runs from January 6th to May the 4th. So lots of really great new products, spring products, Easter products, lots of new designer papers, stamp sets, all kinds of things. So have fun looking through this, and tomorrow you can start shopping from it. So that's awesome. All right, so today the suite we are going to look at is the Cute as a Bug suite. So these are this is the stamp set and the dies, so they form the bundle, which you can also purchase separately with a 10% discount. So some really cute bug images, some greetings, and these are the dies, like really fun. A lot of them will cut out images from the designer paper, which I'll show you in a second. So some cut out the extra bugs, there's some mushrooms, some flowers, some leaves, so a lot to choose from in these dies. So really cute. And our designer paper is also called Cute as a Bug. This is the back side of it. It's 12 by 12. You get 2 sheets of each design, so 6 designs, 2 of each pattern. So this is the back side of them, and we have a lot of colors going on in this designer paper. So here we have some Poppy Parade, like a gingham sheet, which is awesome. And these two, which are kind of like checkerboard chess patterns almost, with the squares, so those are really fun. And then we have this sort of splatter pattern here, these little posies, which are really cute, and this greenery here with the mossy meadow and the old olive. And on the reverse, oh my goodness, people, you get, look at this. I love this with the mushrooms. So cute. And the little tree stumps here. So I believe these are some of the mushrooms that you can cut out with some of those dies. So really cute pattern. Oh, I'd hate to cut this up even, actually. You've got the really cute strawberries and blackberries going on here. Here are some of our little bug friends, which is really cute. I don't know which artist designed this, but it is adorable paper. And then you have another one with more bugs, a little bit of a different color palette on this one. So really cute. And then this one with some more bugs. Now this is the sheet that some of those dies would also work on to cut out some of your little bug friends here. So here you've got the 3 ants. So instead of the ants come marching 2 by 2, you've got them coming 3 by 3. So really cute stuff. And I love you know, the little ladybug reading the book and the bumblebee watering the flowers, and you've got some extra flowers you can cut out as well. So make really cute accents on your cards. And this one is really great. This is our cut apart page. So some of these all by themselves can make for a great background on a page. Like for this one, for example, all you really need is maybe a greeting and maybe a couple of little embellishments, and you're done. And same with this one. This is also lovely. You could just add some of the little bugs in between, and they all cut apart, right? Great for scrapbooking as well. So really great sheet to have. Alrighty, so today we are going to make a double Z fold card. And I believe we've done these before, but we're going to use our cute little bugs on this one. So it just opens like this, and you can see from the top the Z, how that folds. So we have a single Z, which you could do all by itself, but we're going to add that second layer there to give it a little bit of interest, okay? So I will post all of these measurements on the post, but you're welcome to stamp along if you like. So I am going to start with a piece of Blackberry Bliss cardstock. Now you're going to need 1 sheet of cardstock for 1 double Z fold card. All right. So for the base, we are going to cut it at 11 by 4 1/4. Okay, so 4 1/4. And then we are going to score at 2 3/4. Okay, cutting blade out of the way. So score at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. Okay. So this will make the bottom part of our large Z at the bottom. All right, and then our second piece, we're going to cut at 9 3/4. So let's bring this over if you can see. So 9 3/4 cut, and then we are going to cut our height. Okay, so we are going to cut that at 3 1/4. Okay. Now, I just wanted to mention something about the height of your Z, okay? You can adjust the height of this small Z, so whether you want it smaller or a little bit larger, you can certainly do that. As long as you have the length, okay, or the width, I guess, 9 3/4, you can adjust the height of this as much as you want. So for example, if you just wanted a small, narrow Z, which some people have, I've seen samples where it's on the bottom of the card, you could cut your paper at 9 3/4 by, let's say, 1 inch or 1.5 inches, whatever height you wanted, okay? You could also cut it, let's say, at 9 3/4 by 2.5 inches, or 9 3/4. We did 3 1/4 here, or even a little bit taller if you wanted. So as long as you have this length or width at 9 3/4, you can adjust your height here, whatever measurement you want. Okay, so I hope that's not too confusing. So I cut ours at 3 1/4. And then we're going to score this. Now, I'm going to score this left side here at, let me just double check my measurements here. We are going to score it at 3 1/4 on this left side, okay? And I am going to switch up my score line on this side, okay? So I did 3 1/4 on the left. Now, you would think that typically each side would be scored at 3 1/4 because you have a 9 3/4 piece divided by 3 is 3 1/4 for each panel. I found when I tried that, the scoring was just, I don't know if it's because of the thickness of the cardstock, but it seemed that my score lines kind of shifted things a little bit. So I had a little bit sticking out on this right side, okay? So I'm going to adjust mine. So I'm going to flip this, and instead of 3 1/4, I'm going to score at 3 3/8. Okay? And I'm going to fold this up and show you what I mean. Hopefully this makes sense. Okay, so our 3 1/4, I'll just burnish that. And then the other one, when we fold it up on that score line, should match right underneath. Okay, so because, like I say, maybe because of the thickness of the cardstock, it just shifts things a little bit. But I found when I scored at 3 1/4 and 3 1/4, when I folded this over, this back panel just stuck out a little bit. It didn't line up equally. And typically with this double Z fold, when you fold it closed, you kind of want these edges to be lined up as close as you can, okay? So another thing you could do is you could score each at 3 1/4, fold it, and if it does stick out, you could just trim off that little bit of the extra. That's no big deal. So I hope I didn't confuse you too much with that, all right? So I wanted my edges to line up here. Okay, so we're gonna set that one aside. Bring back our base, okay? So the narrow part is going to be sort of our the leftmost side of the card. Okay, I should have done it this way. It's going to be out, and then you want the larger part to be in. Okay, so this back panel is actually our usual card base size. Okay, so when it's open, there's your Z, and then here is your smaller Z. Hope you can see that. Okay. Okay, so now we are going to do some decorating with that designer paper. So for the base, the larger base, okay, you're going to need one piece at 5 1/4 by 4 and 2 pieces at 4 by 2.5. Okay, like I said, I will post these. So you can go through that designer paper and decide what you like. So I'm going to put this greenery here. I've pre-cut a couple pieces here. And then I'm going to put the same greenery on the middle, and I'm going to put my berries on the left. Okay, so this was actually cut a little bit different, but you don't really see this. Now, the reason I'm just sort of using a background piece here is I'm kind of reluctant to use those cute bugs on this panel, because on my sample here, when you see it, when this gets attached on top, you really don't see the bugs. So you'd really be, you know, missing out on seeing those cutie pies. I did put some here, which you still can see, so that's fine, but I kind of want the bugs to be more of my focal point on the front small Z portion. Okay, so that's why I did it that way. But no worries, you can do whatever you like. I am sort of sacrificing these little guys on the back, but that's just the way it goes with this cute paper. I hate to cut them apart. They're all so stinking cute. Okay, so let's put our green right here on our base. All right, and then we'll put our smaller one. This you just had to cut down. This was actually one of our cut apart pieces, okay? It was the gingham, and this is the berry. So what I did is I cut them out, and then I just trimmed them down to size. So these ones by themselves measure, let me just check that for you. They measure 3 by 4. So 3 by 4 is what the regular measurement is if you just use them as is. I needed to cut mine down at 4 by 2.5, so I had to trim a teeny bit off of each of them. Okay, so we will put this one here. And our berries we will put on that last flap. Or our first flap, I guess, is what it technically is. Okay. So there you go. So this will be our base, okay? And we are going to attach our little Z on top of that. Okay, so we'll set that aside. We'll bring back our little Z panel. Now I've pre-cut these, so we need a place to write a greeting. So I'm going to put just a piece of Very Vanilla on here. Now each of these panels, you're going to measure your paper at 3 by 3. Okay, so we're going to use vanilla on this panel and some designer paper on these 2 panels. So this is where you can write your greeting, stamp your greeting, whatever you like to do. So this is Very Vanilla. I think I did vanilla because there's vanilla in the designer paper, although it looks like there might be some white in there too, so I'm not sure. Okay, so let's do vanilla. You could do white, I suppose. Now for these two panels, I cut down, what did I cut down? I cut down this large panel, okay, to 3 by 3. I wanted these guys having their little picnic. And then I cut this tree stump with the greenery and the flowers down to 3 by 3. Okay, so that's what I used there. So we will put our little bug picnic right in the center. Okay. So let's put those in the center of our Blackberry Bliss, and then our little tree stump. Okay, so this is kind of going to be the focal panel, this very first one, and we're going to add a couple of extra little bugs on here. Okay, but first, before I attach them, I'm going to attach this onto our base. So first thing you want to do is just sort of place it with this flap on top, and just so it's centered. So you have, you know, just eyeball it, just so you have about the same amount of space on the left and the right. Now, this bottom panel is going to be the whole panel adhered down, okay? So I will use, I guess I can just use some regular adhesive for that. You could use your glue, which is a little bit stronger, or your plus. You could use that as well. Okay, so I am just going to just sort of look at this again, eyeball it fairly straight. Okay, so something like that. All right, and then you can press that down. Okay, so press down this bottom panel so that is stuck. All right, then close these flaps here. Now on this top one, you don't want to put adhesive on the whole panel. You just want it on this side, this right side when it's opened. So when it's closed, only this part will be adhered, okay? Because if you adhere the whole thing, it's going to open just like this. It's going to be stuck, okay? So you're just going to put some adhesive on this end, okay? And then you're just going to fold it over and press it down. All right, so when you open it, it opens like this. So you see the little picnic happening, and here's where you can write your greeting or do some stamping, and this is where we're going to add some extra little bug friends, okay? So this is where I use the dies. So I cut out our little ladybug reading a book, and our little bumblebee that's listening to the story, and then our little marching ants, okay, which are there. And then I just stamped the greeting. I used the Hello Friend from the stamp set in Blackberry Bliss on vanilla, and then I just fussy cut around it with scissors. All right, so I'm going to bring up my dimensionals for this, and let's start with our ladybug. We're going to put on a large dimensional, and we are going to sit her a little bit higher because we want room for our little marching ants at the bottom. So let's put her about here, and then her bumblebee friend will be sort of flying and listening to the story. So we'll put her up here. And then I'll bring out my mini dimensionals for our little ant friends. So I'll put 2 on the bigger ones. Okay, so this guy's leading the parade with his trumpet, and we will put him a little bit here. Now, if his trumpet or he, you know, goes over, it's fine because it's not going to interfere. And our little flag bearer, we will put behind him, okay? And we'll put him very closely behind. All right. And then our littlest one, who is a bit of a straggler and not really paying attention, we will stick him kind of towards the back, because if he doesn't smarten up and start listening and following, he's going to be left behind, right? Okay, now one thing I just wanted to say about these little ant guys is it's actually one die. Okay, so it cuts out all 3 ants, and I thought they would all be together, but they actually cut out individually. So just be careful that you don't lose 1 or 2 or 3 or all of them, because they are a little small. Okay, I thought they might be stuck together because they were all cut out with one die, but the die cuts them out individually. Okay, so just to be aware of that. And then our hello friend, we will put on with some larger dimensionals, and we will put that just over here like so. And then on this part, we are going to add some of our little ladybug embellishments here. Okay, so I think we will just put one down here in the corner, and I want one in the other corner or one beside. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll do one just sort of climbing up. We'll put her at the same angle, so they're just, whoops, kind of slipped off there. Turn around. There you go. That's a little better. And there's also these little dewdrops that you could, you could put one on top of this little mushroom, or I don't know, maybe you could put some in here if you wanted to, but you don't have to. You could even just put some of that ribbon down if you wanted a bit of an accent. That would work too. So there you go, our little Cute as a Bug suite, which is being launched tomorrow in our new mini catalog. Excuse me. Now, just a heads up, there are a few things happening tomorrow. So, number 1, our mini catalog is going live. So you're welcome to shop at that through my website if you like. Ooh, tickling my throat. So the mini is going live. We have some new online exclusives that are now going live to the public, so you can shop those as well. We have bonus days starting as well for the month of January. So from January 6th to February 2nd, with every $60 purchase, you'll earn a $6 bonus coupon that you can redeem in February on product. Okay, so from February 3rd to 28th, you can redeem those coupons. So if you place, for example, a $65 order, you'll gain 1 coupon. If you put in a $120 order, you'll get 2. If and you're welcome to place as many orders throughout the month as you like, and you will still order coupons on any portion that is $60 or every $60. So that's always fun. We have product of the month. A new product of the month is being launched, and I don't even know what it is. So hopefully, that will be fun to see. And the way that works is once your order reaches $100, you can purchase the product of the month in Canada for $5. So last month we had some really pretty designer paper, and this month we don't know. So keep your eye out for that. And there are also 3 new kits being launched tomorrow, I believe. So some months it's only 2. This month it will be 3. So we're looking forward to seeing what those are. And if you are interested in getting my newsletter, just send me an email at chris.ludwig@hotmail.com, and I will put you on my email list, and you will be up to date on all of the current promotions, all of the events that are happening, personal events that I'm holding, and just lots of fun information. So feel free to do that. And yes, I hope you enjoyed this little sneak peek of our Cute as a Bug suite, and we'll give that a try. So have a great week, everybody, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.